It's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. Now, have you ever heard of gentle parenting? Now, stay with me. I promise this is not going to be a video all about parenting. I am not here to tell you how to parent your children. That is not my interest at all. But there is a technique in the world of parenting called gentle parenting. And I actually think that it's something that we can use on ourselves. And so, even if you're not a parent, if you are a parent, again, I'm not here to tell you how to parent your kids, but I'm here to talk about how we might be able to use this strategy to help ourselves. So if you've never heard of gentle parenting, here's the idea. It's basically that instead of using things like rewards and punishments, we instead use a couple of concepts. So we are really diving deep into empathy. We're using boundaries. We're focusing on self-awareness, on empathy and respect and understanding. We're really trying to get kids to really understand like why they did what they did and what they could do differently next time, right? To understand their own behavior. Now, I will say also, I didn't parent my kids this way. I wish I had, but I learned about it too late. So anyways, we are going to talk about how we can use this for ourselves, because what happens is that oftentimes we have this like inner critic in our head, right? And this is a critic that punishes us. Sometimes it tries to offer us some rewards, but it's using these techniques of like punishment and reward, and it's berating you sometimes when you don't do as well as you had wanted to, or when something is taking you too long, or when you have to change your plan, or when you make a mistake, or when you're feeling big emotions and you feel like you should be able to keep it together. Like, this is a strategy that you can use in those circumstances. And just because we are now adults, just because we have a few more years on us, it doesn't mean that we can't treat ourselves a little bit more nicely. And science actually shows that when we have positive self-talk, and we can use some of these kind of gentle parenting strategies on ourselves, when we use this positive self-talk, we actually perform better. Like, there are a number of scientific studies that show that we have more confidence. We actually perform better. I think it's like 11% better or something like that. And so I want to give you some phrases that you can use to help yourself turn the negative language that you may be using around yourself when you make a mistake, when you're frustrated, when things aren't going your way. I want to give you some phrases that you can use as a counteract to that, right? So I'm not saying that you're going to immediately be able to turn negative self-talk into positive self-talk. Like, I don't think that anything happens immediately. But what you can do is the next time you find yourself berating yourself or saying something negative to yourself, acknowledge that you've said it, right? And then replace it with one of these phrases. And I'm going to give you a number of different phrases that you could use that might happen in different circumstances. So one of them, just mistakes happen, right? We all make mistakes. You make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes happen. We don't need to berate ourselves for a mistake. We can't go back in time anyways. We can only move forward. So mistakes happen, right? Another one is, what can I learn from this? And maybe that follows up, mistakes happen. But what can I learn from this? Like, I can learn something from everything, right? If you've ever heard that saying, there's no such failure, it's no such thing as failure, there's only success and learning, right? I actually really believe that. So what can I learn from this? Or when you're learning something new, reminding yourself, I'm still practicing. So this has been something for me that's been coming up a lot because I recently started to do ceramics again. And so I've been throwing on the pottery wheel and I'm bad at it. Like, I'm just not that great. Sometimes I produce something that I'm proud of, but like, it's really rare, right? And in between, there's a lot of mess ups. And so I just have to keep reminding myself, like, I'm still practicing. I am not, I'm not an expert in this yet being the operative word. You might say, let's try blah, blah, blah. Like, what's another thing that you could try? You could say to yourself, how can I solve this problem? So instead of being stuck in this problem is happening, moving into action, how can I solve this problem? You might also say something like, what could I do instead? What could I say instead? You could say to yourself, just if you're having big emotions, I am feeling sad, frustrated, upset, really annoyed, angry. What can I do to make myself feel better, right? What's an action I could take to make myself feel better? Maybe I could take a walk around the block. Maybe I could watch a cute cat video. Maybe I could take a little nap. Maybe I could eat something. Who knows, right? Or if you're feeling like you're on the verge of tears, sometimes I get on the verge of tears if I'm frustrated or angry or something like that, saying, that was really upsetting. That was really frustrating. It is okay to cry, right? Even if you're an adult, it is okay to cry. If you're kind of really sticking with something, it's just not working, you might be able to say to yourself, like, this doesn't seem to be working. So let's try a different way. What else could I think about? What are other ways that I could get for this to work? And then finally, you might say to yourself, you know what? Let's take a break. Right? I'm frustrated. I'm spending too much mental energy on something. Let's just take a break or take a deep breath and move on. So I want to know, have you ever tried these techniques on yourself? Have you ever tried them on your children, right? If you've tried them on your children and not yourself, why not? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know if this is something you've tried and that works for you, if this is something you're willing to try and see if it works for you, or if you have phrases that you use that fall into this bucket, I want to hear them. So put them below so that the rest of us can benefit from them as well. Now, if you like this kind of content and you want to keep getting it, make sure to subscribe so that I will be here in your feeds every single week. See you soon.
Hello guys, it's a video editor here. I just want to quickly say that only about 20% of the people that watch our videos are actually subscribed. So if you fall into that 80%, I recommend you subscribe.